हेलो एंड वेलकम टू परफेक्शन आईएएस। परफेक्शन आईएएस में आप सभी का एक बार फिर से स्वागत है। टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस सम important topics regarding three contentious issues. First is the farm bills, second the protest due to these farm bills, and third is the concept of MSP. Since all these three issues are interlinked with each other, we will discuss in detail with these videos. So let us get started. The PDF of this current affair topics will not be available on the Telegram channel. You have to send your personal details to our contact teams, to our perfectionized team, so that you can get free delivery of the whole of the booklet at your destinations. So kindly be a part of it, join it, and make the available offers equitable to you. Send your details, send your postal address, and we will be sending you all this PDF and other materials, as like we have sent to many other students as well. So get benefited from it. Perfection IAS is already taking online and offline test series of the 66th PPSC mains examination. You can also enroll in there and get the advantages and many more perks and privileges. Now let us start to the important topic about the farm bills. Now recently the government actually recently 1 year has been happened, and the government introduced three basic important bills regarding to the recommendations of the various committees and reforms in the agricultural sector that were very long awaiting. And these three bills are namely the Farmers Produce Trade and Commerce. The very important term here is promotion and facilitation. That is, they wanted to promote as well as facilitate what? To trade. So the very basic idea of that bill represents from the name that they want to promote and facilitate trade and commerce of the farmers' produce. So whatever the farmers will be producing, that will be promoted and facilitated for trade and commerce. This ordinance was already enacted. It was later on passed among a lot of hue and cry and a lot of disruptions in the Lok Sabha by the BJP and the ruling NDA, BJP-led NDA government, and it was introduced by the Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar. That is why it allows the intrastate as well as interstate trade of the farmers producing beyond the physical premises of the APMC, that is Agricultural Producers Market Committee. So it says that initially or previously there was a process that all of the products will be sent within the premises of the APMC. So there was an area defined, and if your farming area or if your trade area comes in that particular APMC, your products, your farm produces will only be sold and purchased. That is, trading will only and only be done at the registered mandis or the APMCs. But this bill allows that the person from one APMC can trade to another. Even it can trade to private parties without going to the Agricultural Produce Market Committee, and that is why somewhere it has become a bone of contention between the state and the central government as well as the farmers. It allows interstate, that means inside the state among different APMC area, as well as interstate, so between the states as well as inside the states and many reasons. Suppose there is one state, let's for take example of the Nagpur. So if the Nagpur has a purchaser or buyer good in the Maharashtra border area states, then it will be easier for a merchant of Nagpur to reach directly Maharashtra than to reach Mumbai. So this act particularly specifically allows that the products can be easily be sold inside the states, that is interstates, and if inside the states, that is intrastates, that is within among outside the areas of the notified APMC's area. And that is why many of the state governments and even farmers are protesting, seeing that the farmers will be exploited by using this, and the private parties will take their products at their own decided prices, and they will not get the better fair rate for which the APMC has been mandated. So how it is going to affect it, and how it is going to be the port of contention, and what are the massive ideas, what are the massive intentions of the government bringing behind the bills, we'll see one by one. First we'll have to introduce and learn what the bill is actually all about. Second is the Farmers Agreement Ordinance, that is, it creates a framework ordinance between the farmers and the private company merchants to pre-farming, that is pre-sowing. Even before sowing of the products, there has been an agreement, there will be an agreement between the farmers and the private companies, what will be grown, how much amount will be grown, from where you will taking the seeds, what should be the selling rates, etc. all will be decided in a pre-occupied document before farming, and that ordinance is farmers agreement ordinance, which create a framework to contract farming and introduce. It also provides a 3-level dispute settlement mechanism. If there comes a dispute during the non following of the bonds of the contract, then it will be a conditional conciliation board will be there. First the matters will be go to a conciliatory board, then the subdivisional magistrate, and then it was go to the appellate authority, that is the high court of that region. Initially the high court was not involved, so that the government intention was to make judgment or to make the decisions in this kind of contentious issue quickly, because once the movement will involve court in it, it will take long time, and the very idea and the process, that is the procedural delay, and the delay in the time work and red tapeism, that leads to high delay and raising in the prices and ineffectiveness, unpracticality of a law will be coming out the moment we will introduce court in it. But the counter argument is, if the courts are not included, then all the officials may or may not be acting on the pressure of the currently ruling party or the ruling government, or under the influence of the higher private corporate bodies, and the poor farmer will not get the justice. And that is why inclusion of court was later on done. Initially it was up to the SDM level, but later on the appellate authority was increased and it has moved now to the high court level. So matter if the contracts, if the bindings or the agreements of the contracts are not fulfilled by any of the party, then it will be taken to the high court region. And this is the 3 basic law. Third most important law is the Essential Commodities Act. Now this allows the private cold storage, chain storage bodies to store a large or a huge amount of all the producers, farm producers, unless there is an emergency situation, and that emergency situation is defined as extraordinary circumstances such as war and famine. Stock limits may be imposed on agricultural products if there the steep price rise. So there are 3 basic conditions have been used. First, if there is a high inflation, that is steep price rises. Second, there is a war or like condition. Second, third is the famine or drought like conditions in any part of the country. So unless these 3 conditions are not met, they can store or they can stockpile the products up to their capacity. So there is no limit on the storing. Initially there used to be a limit that this much amount of storage, this much amount of agricultural or even any other storage essential commodities, the commodities which has been targeted or which have been decided by the government as essential, was taken into that custody. So the first bill we'll discuss one by one. So the first bill is the key features is the farmers produce. So this ordinance, which has been later on made a bill by passing in the parliament, allows interstate as well as the interstate. Okay, such are outside the APMC as well. They include electronic trading, market fee abolished. So once there will be and private trading, so once they will be allowed to trade outside the limits of the APMC, outside the whole of the infrastructure of the APMC, there will be no extra fee, because we know that in order to sell, in order to go and purchase in the APMC, they have to pay some extra taxes, extra fees, extra levies. That will not be a part in that private body. First, there used to be a problem to carry all your product, all your producers to the local APMC mandis, and there was not a very good storage or such issues, cold storage chain issues. So that need to be bought or sold very early, and at a time such as the crops which are or which may get faulty as the time passes, there used to be a very small or thin margin of bargain for the farmers, and that is why they had to sell in the prices in that they were available. Many of the cases it was seen that cartelization, groupings among the traders of the APMCs, and they already decide the rates and all of the auction. Even if the auctions was to be done, a rate was fixed, and this rate never went above the pre-decided rate, and so farmers were getting exploited by the a chain of the cartel or the politicization of the APMC. And seeing this, a new method has been included that they can either sell in APMC or outside the APMC, there is nothing compulsory in it as per the government organizations and government reports. There will be some intended benefits of this act. The role of intermediaries will be reduced, markets will be integrated, the APMC reforms will be, this will lead to the reforms in the existing APAP structures, especially the storage fatality, the fee structure, the cartelization, etc. And the what are the potential issues? The potential issues, the sudden change will lead to not boarding. There are fears that APMCs will be removed, and once APMCs will be removed, then there will be no other option but to sell in private, and private party will exploit the farmers. This is the issue, and this is the thinking of the many of the protesting body, that this might happen. This is not actually happen. The government has time and again reiterated stance that they are not going to abolish either of the MSP or the APMC. But since there has been an inferred agreement or inferred argument that if the farmers are allowed to send or sell their produce in the private market, they will not come to APMC, and the APMC will not get any fees, any tax, so its development will further be lower. Similarly, state also charges some amount of tax on the APMC, so states will not get that amount of charge, and that is why most of the agrarian states which are higher in the trading are actually against these laws. There will be erosion of the existing infrastructure over time due to the poor breakup. Act will create an artificial distinction between market area and trade areas, and that is why the farmers will be caught in the legal systems and legality of the issue. State government will lose the mandi tax, and that is why we will move on to the second argument. Second argument, we have the key features like there will be an agreement farming, cooperative farming, and when kind of a community farming. So a community will make whole of the piece of the land as an agreement between the private body. So one of the private body or an organization will make a contract with whole of the village, or even 2 or 3 or more the villages land, so that there will be a concept of community farming and less waste of resources, and more bargaining power will be achieved as per the government stances. Now, what are the problems? The problems will come that farmers may not be able to understand the legal terms and terminologies used in the agreement, and so that these agreements may turn faulty. The private parties or the private companies will having a whole army of lawyers can exploit the farmers, and they may not be able to follow the agreement completely, and the farmers will be exploited. Seeing that there has been a dispute settlement mechanism, that once there is a dispute between the following of the agreement, it will go to a conciliatory meeting. From conciliatory body it will go to the SDM, from the SDM it will go to an appellate body, and even if that it is not being solved, the recently there has been a change in the amendment that high courts have been included. So if all at all you are not getting any kind of judgment, then the aggrieved person can go to high court, but they have to follow that procedure mandatorily. Now, what are the benefits? So it will promote the contract farming, and that is why lower the risk, improved inputs, attracting investment, more the larger amount of land, and more the stability in the process and fluctuations will lead to better investments, and the better investment will lead to mechanization and better infusion of research and development and mechanics and technology in the agriculture, that will ultimately will increase the productivity of the particular area. And the potential issues that we have already discussed, the minimum support price mechanism may or may not be get hampered. This is the apprehensions of the peoples who are actually protesting for it. The essential features of the Essential Commodities Act will be the regulatory of the food items. Actually, the Essential Commodity Act passed in 1945 empowered the central government to use or to mandate or designate certain food items as essential whenever they decided, and their stockpiling as a illegal until and unless there has been a secure and secured availability of that product, then it may be kept out of the essential product list. Similarly, in the labor sector, there is an act called Essential Services Act, and that is why some of the medical services, army services, even some of the workers in the PSU are being treated as an essential services employee, and they cannot be with their own view go on strike, disrupt the work, because they are considered into the Essential Services Act. And similarly, there has been an Essential Commodities Act where the certain food items farmers produce will be taken out of the essential commodity, And the recent amendment act, it is an amendment to the original act which already was giving power to the central government to put any of the producers in the essential commodity list. Now what will happen, that farmers or similarly the private bodies will have a maximum or unscrupulous level of the storing of the farm produces, so that they can manage, and they can manage well the kind of storage they can, so they can have a better contract agreement with the farmer, they can maximize their profit in order to get a proper storage mechanism. A cold storage facility will increase, and this will increase more money inflow, especially in the formation of cold storage and mobilization, especially of the FMCG, fast moving consumer goods and food processing. So based on these views, the government has passed these acts and regulations, but there has been certain apprehensions, and these apprehensions we will discuss after the benefits. So benefits, it will end the harassment of the businessmen and the traders. They were actually harassed for storing, and a mode of corruption will be kept out. It will help to reduce the wastage, likely to introduce the private investment, especially in the research and development of the cold storages. And the issues will be yes, hoarding, institutional hoarding and storing and stockpiling of the products, artificial price rise, artificial inflation, and maximum benefit to the private body. So farmers will be forced to sell the products at a lower rate, and the consumers will be set at the higher rates, and these intermediately, which are nothing but are making a cold storages, will get taxes from the farmers as well and the consumers as well. So these are the certain potential issues. After that, we will see that these three bills, how these three bills are actually being protested by the many of the people. So we'll understand them one by one. After discussing about the, we'll discuss about the minimum support price as well. So before discussing the minimum support price MSP bill, we'll move on to the farm protest. So as we know that recently the government has passed three farm bills, which we have already discussed. Now what are the issues? So we have discussed the issues, and based on that issue there has been a protest, especially in the Punjab and the Haryana regions, which are the agriculturally developed state. The per capita income of the farmers in Punjab and Haryana is nearly 10 to 20 times more than any other state. Similarly, the export ratio is more. The per capita land holding in these states are also very more, and it can be seen that the 80 to 85% in these two states of the farmers are having actually lands more than 2 or 3 hectares. So it is not less than it is very better than the national average. They are actually contributing about 40 to 45% of the total agricultural market, total MSP procurement. And what about amount of the government procures? The Food Corporation of India procures the products under the minimum support price from these bodies is about 40 to 40%. That is, if a country, India, grows 100 kg of rice, then 40 to 45 kg of rice which has been purchased by the Food Corporation of India to under the MSP rate comes from Haryana and Punjab. And that is why, being passing of that particular age and the change in the original structure will lead, that has led to a kind of a protest, and a long standing protest that is still running on, and it has been more than 8 months that is in the background of this farm protest, and they are sitting in the Delhi. And in that incident also, we saw on the 26th January, a black day for our Indian democracy, that they captured the red flag at the moment become violent. Very of the anti-social elements, most of the anti-social elements in the farmers protest got captured the red fort, and that unfurled, and they disrespected our national flag, and this was a huge shame on the Indian democracy, a blot on the day, especially on the Republic Day. So it was blot on the Republican Times and the Republic of India. But later on, a lot of hues and cries and the leaders and sorries and whatnot, and then certain actions. But it has definitely created a blot in the Indian history, especially on this very auspicious day when we celebrate a Republic Day. And this kind of incidents actually let down the image of India on the global level. And then there are definitely many cases of toolkits case, and external promotions, protesting around the embassy. So many of the anti-India elements have taken benefit from these farm protests, and they are using it for their own interest. Especially the political parties are also turning and channelizing the farmers' energy into their own political benefit. And among these COVID-19 times, where the current government is already under the backslash and facing a disproportionate amount of an image building makeover, the farm protests are actually not helping, but they are actually generating and creating a more of trouble and downgrading the image of the present government, which has a better support and that came with overthumping majority in the 2019 elections. So what is the issue? The issue is a strong protest of the farmers, especially from the states of Punjab and Haryana, that is to replace the bills and the ordinance, and the basic demand is nothing but to take back all the bills and make MSP, minimum support price, as a legal document. Till now it has not been a legal document. The government declares it by a resolution or by act, but it has not been a legal document. So they wanted to make it a legal form act, just like a constitutional body, make and CACP a constitutional body, and there should be like just an election commission of India, there should be a farmer commission of India, and they will decide MSP, and the government will have to act on the report submitted by the Farmers Commission of India to the president, and the parliament will have to act on it. So there is a specific demand, but the basic demand is to take back, no discussions, just to take back all those risks. And that is why, being on such hard stances and not able to negotiate on any of the points, these protests have never met the result, and there is no view in the coming time, especially after the UP elections in 2022. There is no near future it's going to come down, it is going to increase further. These farmers or some of the leaders with the vested interest also took interest in the Bengal election, Gujarat election, Maharashtra elections and all, and they will now be taking more and more interest, especially in the Uttar Pradesh and the western Uttar Pradesh, where there is a huge farming community, and particular the Haryana and Rajasthan related areas of a particular tribe and particular caste community. And this is going to be from farm movements, it is been seen to getting into a political movement, but in that main issues are being somewhere suppressed, and we'll discuss what is the bills aiming to remove the reformative change, that the key aspect of the farm economy, trade, agriculture, they want to remove out this bill. Additionally, the bills in much required form. So most of the farm bodies or most of the bodies, Reformance Agency, most of the recommendations of the even Ashok Dalwai Committee or even Swaminathan Committee, many of the recommendations were on the basis of such report, and based on such recommendations, a draft bill was bring, but due to the hardcore recognition and opposition, it has to be seen as a opposition of the bill. So what is the arguments in the favor of farm bills? So favor is the income will increase, independence of selling will increase, modernization of agriculture because of the agreement of the private and farmers, there will be a large scale of investment. That investment will lead to mechanization and more research development and spreading of the cold chain storage, etc. And so modernization of agriculture will become, and finally agriculture will become a profit making business, just like the countries in Europe and America. Small and marginal farmers, as per the government, this bill can also improve the beneficial to small farmers who had to take their small quantity of produce to the long distance of the APMC. They can directly now sell to the private body, interstate or intrastate. Impact of different stakeholders. Farmers is now a producer, and then seller is his own produce and will be free. But what are the arguments against? So first is, it is against the federalism. Farmers or the agriculture being issues on a concurrent list, especially most of the parts of the agriculture is related to state lists, but there are certain parts like trade and commerce and specific rules related to trade, commerce, movement, logistics are being kept in the concurrent list by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. There has been a challenge in the federal issue that the state governments are saying, how can you remove such APMCs, or how can you make the products selling out of the APMC, because ultimately it is going to downgrade the taxes collected by the APMC, and finally the APMC will be collapsed. APMC will be of no use. So states, whatever they are amount of getting, they are getting taxes from the APMC. They will not getting that tax once there will be a selling of the produce at the private level between farmers and the purchasers directly without any anti-intermediary like APMC. Similarly, what are the rationale by center? What the center says? Center says, how I argue that trade and commerce in food items is a part of concurrent list and thus giving it to the constitutional propriety. Second is lack of consultation. So this has been a political argument and this cannot be ended. Second, the most important point is the farmers are saying that you will end MSP. And why they are saying that? because once there will be a direct agreement between the private body and the farmers, there is no need for MSP. And since they said there is a hidden agenda of the government to end MSP, but time and again the government has reiterated that MSP will never end, and it is, and it will be there in the Indian agriculture system. It has been categorically reiterated many times, even by the Prime Minister or the Agriculture Minister, but still there has been a lack of confidence, especially the political confidence has been going down. People are not trusting the politicians anymore, and they want it in a written document. Even not in a written document, they want the MSP to be made a legal document. An act should be passed and should be MSP to be made compulsory as well as legal, not just by an order. Justification is no law nowhere states that the concurrent system, the minimum support price, is based on the food grains essentially are being government agency wouldn't. But since it has never been written, nowhere it is written that the government is trying to downgrade the MSP or it is going to remove the MSP. Recently, if you data say there is a most amount of purchases, so there has been record amount of purchase from Punjab and Haryana on the MSP rate, and the government has also increased the MSP to 1.52. But still there is an issue that A2 rate and C2 values, A1 and C2 the family level, so that point remains still under the contention. But still there is a yes, it can be managed that the government has increased the MSP to 1.5 times, and there has been a record purchase of the food grains, especially wheat and rice, on the Punjab and Haryana region in 2020 and 2021 the fiscal year. Now, non-favorable market condition. While retail prices have remained high, data from the wholesale price index suggests that there is a deceleration from the farm gate prices, mostly of the agriculture produce. Absence of any regulation, so there is said that there is no rules and regulation for regulating the mandi, and this is certainly will go down, and this will create a ruckus in the APMC structure, and finally the APMC will be shattered. Price fixation mechanism. The price assurance bill, offering the protection to the farmers against the price exploitation, does not provide the maximization for the price fixation. There is no mechanism for price fixation, and that is one of the basic idea. The critics are apprehensive about a formal contractual obligations owing to the unorganized nature of the farm sector and lack of resource for a legal battle. Since the private company is having an army of lawyers, local farmers will have not that much of lawing and know and capacity of the legal understanding. It may end up the exploitation of the farmers that are being the apprehension, and that is why fixed price fixation mechanism has been taken by the Essential Commodities or the Contract Farming Act. Food security will be undermined. This is also a part, because once the Essential Commodity Acts allows the person to stockpile the amount of food, whatever the amount of food they need in whatever quantity, this may create an artificial famine or artificial inflation. So this is also a point where they are going to make it understand. Now, impact on different stakeholders. So consumers, they would now get produce as much at the lower cost. Why? Because there has been a direct agreement between the farmers and the producers, so they may get comparatively at the lesser cost, subject to the profit making and subject to the so-called maintaining the price and the stability that will be seen as a major challenge. Middlemen and Aratias will lose their economic stranglehold. The problem is most of the experts are also saying that these farm protests are actually the Aratias argument. These Aratias, which are the commission agent, the large farmers with very large property and influence in the APMC, turn into commission agents, and they are known as Aratias. So they charge commission for selling the farm produce, and that is why once the APMC structure will be removed, once the farmers will be allowed to sell out of the APMC, the Aratias will not get the kind of money or the kind of consultative charge, the kind of tax, the kind of fees they are being in the selling, and the commercial agents, and they will not be getting the charges for selling and purchasing, also maintaining, also they will not get that benefit. And that is why most of the farmers which are rich in nature, especially of the Punjab and the Haryana region, are actually protesting for it, because initially what happened, they used to purchase the food grains at the lower prices from West Bengal, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, and then they used to sell at higher prices in the APMC in their own states, and the government of India used to purchase it. But when there will be a restriction in selling out of the APMC and there will be a private mechanism, these companies, these small farmers, will directly sell their produces to the private companies. So these big Adatyas and big stakeholders and big cartels will not get benefit, and that is one of the major contentions in the steps taken. What are the steps taken by the government? So there has been 11 and 12 round of talks, but all the talks have been non-resultable. Nothing can be done because of the strong and because of the hard stance of the farmers that we just want the repellation, they don't want to negotiate, and this hard stand had led to a vacation and the more tense relationship, and the government are not in the mood to step back and take all these bills, because according to him it is going to benefit for the farm sector and the smaller farmers, basically not for the bigger farmers. And the protest is basically organized as per the government by the big influential farmers who will lose their influence once this act is passed. So there are certain recommendations that there should be infrastructure to be reformed, mandis can be reformed, license can be unified, consensus can be built, but without strong institutional arrangement, without negotiation, such things cannot be happen. The in agriculture like India's, where agriculture is directly related to the employment, the most employment generating sector, government needs to do some reforms, but at the same time it must also take the confidence of all the stakeholders, because the reform is ultimately going to help these farmers also, not any other body. So we need to talk and talk better, negotiate better. Farmers also need to loosen their hard stand under to removal of control act. They should rather think see it to implement it and to put their point. Whatever they are having distortion, they should say this, these certain sections are wrong, this can be amendment. Government is free to amendment as per the records, as per the speeches, as per the expectations by the agriculture minister or the prime minister, that government is free to accept all kind of recommendation, all kind of amendments, but you should first provide it and say it and detect it, that how it is going to impact in a negative manner. So this is the way it should be made, because at the end of the day, be it farmers or the politicians, we all are Indians, and what we want is agriculture to be a better sector in the economy, a better profit making sector, so that we can achieve the target of 5 trillion economy. Now we will move on to MSP and understand what is MSP. MSP is the minimum support price, and especially it is has two parameters. First is it is being calculated by CACP, that is Committee on Agricultural Cost and Prices. So it recommends a price, and currently it has been applied for 21 to 22 products. For sugarcane it is FRP. So we should remember for PT exams, so sugarcane does not have MSP, sugarcane has FRP, and that FRP is fair and reasonable prices. So just for sugarcane it is FRP, which is being decided by the other authority, but for other crops almost 22 to 23 in nature, sometimes it fluctuates. So it is called minimum support price, which is being calculated by the Committee of the Agricultural Cost and Prices, which is being sent to the CCA, yani ki Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, which is headed by the Prime Ministers, includes Finance Minister, Agriculture Ministers, and many other ministers, depending upon the requirement and the invitation done by the Cabinet of Ministers. So finally, who decides MSP? So MSP is the final level, it is decided by the government, and who calculates the MSP? It is calculated by the CACP. Now this is MSP is nothing but a price which is decided by the minimum support price, that is a price below which there cannot be any kind of trade between the farmers or anybody. So specifically it is said that if you are not able to sell your produces at the private level, then government will purchase it, and government will purchase, that is on the behalf of government, the Food Corporation of India FCI will purchase it, and the price with which they will purchase is MSP. So they cannot purchase below MSP price. And what happens ki indirectly the MSP decides the overall price of the products in the market, but MSP is specifically for the government procurement. Private parties or private bodies may have different dealing, but it is being said that MSP, just like the bank rate and repo rate in the banking sector, decides the interest rate in the economy. Similarly, MSP decides the rates of the products, and this is why the significance of MSP can be understand. It is a minimum price guarantee that acts as a safety net for the insurance of farmers when they sell their particular crops. So no one can be purchasing or said, especially the FCI, Food Corporation of India, will not purchase any of the food below MSP price, and government is bound to purchase at MSP up till unless and until their stock is not filled. So there is a stock limit of FCI definitely. So when until it is not being filled, any of the farmer can go and to sell their prices to producers to the Food Corporation of India, and they will get the price return in the form of MSP, that is the minimum support price. If the producers are not getting sold in the private market, government is bound to purchase subject to two conditions. One is the availability of the stock, and second, the quality decided by the government body. So whatever the quality decided by the FCI and the kind of storage they have, if they are having storage and if there is a quality assured, then they cannot deny any of the farmer to get or to buy their produces at the minimum support price rate. But other than that, the farmers can sell in the APMC to any of the traders depending upon the any of the rate what is being discussed. What happens in the most of the times, 95% of the farmers are actually not getting the rate of the MSP and the local APMC, because APM, when the rate minimum decided is almost 20 to 30 rupees less than the MSP decided by the government. So purchasing on MSP is only and only done by the Food Corporation of India, and which is also known as the procurement price. So PP. Now what are the challenges in the way of MSP? First is accessibility and awareness. So people of the rural background does not understand, and they do not have knowledge of the recently updated MSP levels, and that is why they sell their produces as per the demand and as per the counter and storage availability. Whatever the storage availability they have, when they are seeing that the products are going to be perished, they are at the lower bargaining status and they sell their produces at the rate of the buyer, not at the rate of the seller. Areas in the payments, marketing arrangements. Niti Aayog report, according to Niti Aayog, 20% of the farmers of the states expressed their satisfaction about MSP declared by the government, whereas 79 were dissatisfaction. They were not able to send it, and this is a true reality that even if the government decide the MSP, farmers will not, especially during the APMC purchase by the private bodies, MSP is never given to the farmers. Only the Food Corporation of India, which MSP takes as a procurement price, purchases at the MSP level. None other than that produces the MSP, and even that the Food Corporation officials are also being targeted or influenced by the corruptions, and many of the deals are actually under below. So what are the recommendations by the Niti Aayog? So Niti Aayog has recommended that methodology and implementation should be improved, awareness should be made, announcement should be done before the sowing of the crops, so that the farmers will have a proper idea of what kind of crops they are getting. The market will have particular rate details, and then it will increase or decrease the production of the crop depending upon the MSP and the local weather conditions as well. Marketing facilities will be increased, fair average quote should be done. Okay, so the small and the marginal farmers can be provided with some exemption in fair average quality norms to promote their source of the income. Especially the quality assurance can be given a waiver or kind of a limited or kind of a liberal exemption, legal definition in case of small farmers, so that they can sell their produces, and the ultimate goal is to make the farmers rich, make the farming a profitable business will be applied by the Food Corporation or the Government of India. Procurement should be centers in the village itself to avoid the transportation and the cost. So the transportation cost should be bared by the purchaser, not by the seller, and so procurement centers can be made at a clusters of 2 or 3 villages, so that they can be easy procurement, and the farmers will have a at the better end to get or receive profits. So these were the 3 important topics. First was the farm bills, second was the opposition, the farm bills, the farm protest, and what they want is the regularization, fixment of the MSP. They want MSP to be regularized, fixed, and should be passed as the kind of law. But now MSP is just a rate which is being calculated by CACP, and then it is recommended and decided by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs. So till now it is not an act. They wanted just like an Election Commission of India, a Farmers Commission of India, to decide it and to make it and to present its report to the president, and president will table its report to the parliament, and let's make a constitutional structure which is not going to be seen in the coming future days due to the hard stance of the farmers as well as the hard stand of the government. The end or the negotiation, the middle path is going to be very difficult to be achieved unless and until the new Lok Sabha elections are in phases. So this was all for today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay home, stay safe, take yourself better care.